Welcome to the show. My name is Vikas Anand. I'm a Vice President of Product Management at Oracle, leading the portfolio of integration, process, and API management. I'm really excited to be here today. We have some really exciting news about a new and upcoming product, which we call as the Oracle Self-Service Integration. It's a part of our cloud platform of integration set of capabilities. And what I'm really excited about and what makes it extra special is I have Duane DeBique who joins us today, and he will talk along with us about how they're leveraging the integration portfolio to make a difference for themselves. Duane, welcome.
Pleasure to be here, Vikas.
Thank you, Duane. Duane is a Senior Director of Business Systems at Sinclair Broadcasting Group, which is one of the largest and most diversified TV broadcasting companies in the U.S. He will tell us his story about the advances they've done with technology to drive digital transformation at Sinclair. That's coming up later. But before we get there, let's learn about what we're going to talk more today. So today, you will learn about three big integration trends. First one, self-service integration. I think the word itself is very explanatory. It's about doing things yourself, delivering integrations yourself as a user. And then, of course, we have some really cool stuff to talk to you about around the new and key trends like blockchain. And we have a pretty nice demonstration to walk you through how it can actually be integrated through self-service. And last yet not the least, we'll be talking about artificial intelligence and its applicability across the platform with a focus on productivity for the end user. AI is a big theme, and we are really excited about its use in our platform to help you get productive. However, there is a new wave that is literally out here and hitting you already. If we start to quantify this in the integration area, there are approximately 2,300 SaaS apps in the market. And this new wave I'm talking about, I think I should rather paraphrase it as a tsunami, which is already coming in. It's already here for most businesses. It's really those 2,300 SaaS apps, but also high number of productivity applications which need to be incorporated into the business ecosystem. Because line of business is quickly buying technology to solve their day-to-day needs and to differentiate themselves and become competitive. What's the side effect of this? Apps IT and IT can no way deal with this explosion of app integration requests. If they continue to focus on the sundry, they don't have time to deliver on innovation. So this is where the whole requirement for self-service integration comes in, which enables line of business folks, people who work in marketing and sales and service, to be able to self-service their own integration for themselves. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Duane DeBique. Duane?
Thank you, Vikas. Thank you for having me.
They call you Duane the Disruptor for a reason, right, Duane?
That's correct.
Where does that come from?
Well, the idea of the disruptor is we challenge the demands of IT on a day-to-day basis. We're embedded in the business team, and our job is to meet real business problems. And we don't allow IT infrastructure to stand in our way.
What's your role at Sinclair and really what's going on?
As Director of Business Systems, my job is to manage the integrations between our legacy applications. As a broadcast company, we have a ton of applications that sit on-prem. And we're super excited about our advancements in the last year where we've brought our entire back office to the cloud. So all of your finance, HR, payroll activities right now sit in the cloud, but we still have to have a strong connection day by day, hour by hour with those legacy applications that are on-prem.
You are the perfect example for me over here to, who's facing the amplification of the number of SaaS and productivity tools coming in your ecosystem. So what's your challenge in that space?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, our business teams they have tools that they use every day, including CRM tools, standard Microsoft tools. They're using things like communication tools like Slack. And they want to be able to have a direct connection with the back office systems that are leveraging our integration tools. And our IT team are struggling in order to build those connections between those front-end systems and the back-end structure that we've built.
Great. So Duane, just to qualify this with some examples for our audience, I'll go through a few personas. Some of the most common personas of business users, and just to qualify how this is different, I mean, when you look at integration, it's primarily targeted to the IT personas, right? Developers and apps IT. Here we are talking about well-qualified line of business users, the marketing campaign manager, as an example, who's really using productivity tools out there in the market, like survey tools, event tools like Eventbrite, and they use this for not only better collaboration with their customers and attendees of various events, but also between the marketeer and the marketeers themselves. And they want to use all these digital assets to drive the success of the campaign. Right? So it's a new persona, a new set of productivity tools for this space. Let's look at another persona out here, the customer support rep, who's primarily focused on ensuring the success of the customer in using a product or a service. In such scenarios, he's responsible for closing out and helping resolve incidents, right? But after the incident, he may want to get a survey link to the customer to get feedback. And get that information back into the actual incident management system seamlessly so that it's available for everybody else to review and learn from. Or maybe he's using some of the productivity collaboration tools like Slack, where a high priority incident is created directly from Slack into the incident systems, like Service Cloud from Oracle or others. The last persona that we want to talk about is the sales manager, who's really focused on closing opportunities. He really wants to be actively working with customers and having that optimal conversation which can drive the opportunity to a closure, or maybe identify new opportunities in the same customer. So in this case, he's looking at new opportunities, new status of escalations or issues at a customer so that he can have the right conversations. He might be using productivity tools again to measure the success of his events and feedback from his customers as he talks to them about the product, the portfolio, and brings in different people from his company to explain the products to the customer. So these were general examples that I gave. What I would like to do is have Duane tie one or more of these examples with real life situations in his company. So Duane, back to you.
Sure. So in the broadcasting industry, we have all those similar examples. We have sales managers in our world. They're marketing consultants that actually help the customers use our platform to display their advertising. We have back-end accounting staff that manage collections and cash posting. They want to be able to interface with our sales staff to be able to get information to make those collections work better. And ultimately, we have finance managers or business managers that actually want to have more information coming from the business, coming from the customers, to be able to make their data more accurate and more timely. So we have very similar personas. They're dealing with day-to-day tools that they want to be able to bring together enterprise data into, and they're struggling to be able to make those integrations.
That's a great example. If you were to describe your end goal in one line, with this ecosystem of sophisticated back-end applications which are a part of your ecosystem, as well as this onslaught of new productivity tools, what is your end goal?
So our goal, I have it written up on my board, is frictionless enterprise. We want the front office and the back office to run seamlessly. We want to be able to make it easier for our salespeople to sell, and we want to make it easier for our customers to pay us. And the systems that lie between should not inhibit that process. So by connecting the systems and giving data in the hands of the people that actually work with those customers makes that whole process run a lot smoother.
Great. I really love the term frictionless enterprise, and thank you for qualifying the self-service piece as a part of this whole sophisticated ecosystem of apps you have. I think we are at a good time in this whole conversation where I think we should show some of this cool stuff to our audience.
Sounds great.
Do you agree?
I do.
All right. So this is the right time that you should just stay focused. We've got some really cool demos out here. We have 4 demonstrations for you, looking at the different personas who are going to use it. And you can see how easy you can build these integrations through self-service and solve your business problems. So, what I have is I've got some really cool use cases with different personas. The first one I'm going to play is actually the persona of the service rep. And for this use case, what I have is I am the service rep and I'm using Slack for critical incidents. And when the incident comes in, I actually want to create that incident in Service Cloud. So let's go through this experience. So I'm logged into the Oracle self-service integration. This is a product built up brand new using a microservices runtime stack running on the cloud. It's a cloud native product. And I can start searching for a recipe first straight away for integration with Slack and Service Cloud. So as you can see, there are available recipes for a number of use cases. Creating Salesforce contact from Microsoft, getting Slack notifications from Dropbox, and then there are a few more around social and event tools like Eventbrite, which are available over here. So what we've really done is we've got a marketplace of pre-built recipes, and you can start by looking for the most important recipe that you want to use. So the first one in this case that I was interested in is really using Slack. So I search for Service Cloud, and I can see available recipes. There's a recipe available for Slack, which really lets me create an incident in Service Cloud. I can grab it and I can start editing it. So it's a pre-built recipe with a very simple experience. There's a trigger and an action. The first thing I do is I validate the account. It uses my own personal credentials. In this case, I'm pretending to be Duane. So I can do a test account, and it does an OAuth connection, and I can connect to Slack. And now I'm able to see live all the available channels in Slack through which the incidents are coming. I can quickly pick up the critical escalation channel as the trigger. So I'm listening in for all the critical escalations coming in. And then based on that, I can define an action. The action happens to be that I want to take that incident and actually create an incident in Service Cloud. So again, my own personal account, which happens to be Duane's account in this case, connecting to Service Cloud, and I can now make some mapping and edits over here on the kind of data that I want to send in. As an example, I can send the username so that I know who this is coming from, and I can also add the email address which I want to send as a part of this payload to Service Cloud. So what you're seeing is the simplicity of the product in the context of the payload, the data, and the information that I plan to send to Service Cloud. So I've also added the incident type as well as the criticality to it. Once my recipe is configured, I can switch it on, and it's ready to run. So now let's go to Slack. So here I am logged into Slack, and I can see the channels. So I'm in the channel for critical escalations, as an end user of Slack, I can punch in a current issue. So an example, there's a power outage at the Super Bowl, and I just hit enter. This has been entered into the critical escalation channel in Slack. What happens behind the scenes is the Oracle self-service integration product is listening to this as a trigger, and it basically can now send it to Service Cloud. So to do this, what we'll do is for the first time, we'll just go and say run now, and I can see the recipe job has executed. It's basically run and send the message to Service Cloud as an action. What's really cool is I can actually go through the whole log and see the payload in the console of SSI. So I don't have to step out into different consoles to make sure that the message is tracking and delivered as expected. So as you can see, there's a reference number which came back from Service Cloud, which was basically reflecting the incident which was created in Service Cloud based on the action, the trigger which came from Slack. So this is really cool because within minutes, we were able to find a recipe for integrating Service Cloud and Slack. We were able to configure and discover channels real time, and then we were able to execute a job and see the end-to-end use case. So in this previous demo, what you just saw is really the service persona who is using Slack to do incident management and listening to his critical incident channel, which then he uses SSI to create an incident in Service Cloud. Let's move to the next persona. This persona is the persona of a sales rep. So I'm going to play a role of a sales rep who wants to synchronize the most important thing that he has, the contacts from Microsoft to Salesforce. So I'm already in SSI, as you can see, from where I left off. Now I can go and use a recipe for creating Salesforce contacts from Microsoft. So I can go grab this recipe into my workspace through the recipe editor. I can test my account. So my account is configured for Office 365. Again, it is using OAuth, and I've got a bunch of events which are already listed. So for example, contact created as an event. When the application performs this activity, the recipe runs. I can do a live sync with my Microsoft Office to look at the contact list and pick up the one I want to use. So in this case, I want to use Disney as an example. And once I select that, and if the trigger happens, I can go and configure the action to write that contact into Salesforce. So here you can see I'm configuring the actions for Salesforce, where I can create a contact, with the given name, surname, the work phone, mobile phone details. This recipe looks pretty much well configured for me. I mean, I don't have to add any more fields. It's exactly got what I needed to send to Salesforce in the context of an account, including the email address, the actual physical address, the mailing address, and other details. So I can go and say, I want to use this activity by turning it on, and then I'm all set. So my Create Salesforce Contact from Microsoft Contact recipe is activated, and it's waiting to be run. So for the next step, what I want to do is I want to take you to Microsoft Office 365 and actually walk you through a contact. So in this case, we picked up Disney, so my favorite character, Han Solo. I've got his details, and surprisingly enough, he lives in Galaxy City in California. His phone number and email addresses are all there from Star Wars. So we are going to save this contact into Office 365 in Outlook. So this is a new contact which has been created. I can now go in and actually say, run my recipe. I mean, this could have been running through a schedule, but I'm going to run it just to show you that the synchronization happens live. So once I run it, you can see the recipe job history. One successful job has been run. I can go into the recipe job history and look for the successful or all recipes which I've executed. There's my Create Salesforce Contact from Microsoft Contact, and here you can actually see the payload of the contact which went from Office 365. So Han Solo, the phone number, the details around his address has all been created successfully into Salesforce. It just took 1 second for this recipe to run and synchronizing the information between Microsoft Office and Salesforce. Additionally, I can also go into Salesforce where you can see I am looking for new contacts which have been recently added, and I can see that Han Solo is existing over there. All the information which was there in the source Office 365 has seamlessly carried over into Salesforce. So to summarize, this recipe, which is creating a contact in sales from Microsoft Contact for a sales rep, took just a minute to search, configure, and then it was all set for execution between Office 365 and Salesforce, thereby simplifying my task as a sales rep. So the last use case is very cool. It's about deal management and opportunity in Sales Cloud, and it actually incorporates blockchain. So Oracle, as a part of its platform as a service, has blockchain cloud service. And in this, we will talk about how you can create smart contracts based on opportunities which are coming in from Sales Cloud. So I'm not going to go through the runtime for this use case because you've already seen the concept. Let's just focus on the recipe itself, because this is tying together three very important pieces. The first one, as you can see over here, is there is a trigger, and the trigger happens to be Sales Cloud. Sales Cloud has got the accounts, and the event that I'm interested in is really the opportunity which is created for Start Account. So it's already pre-configured. What's really interesting is the action that is happening next. So this is where it's bringing the power of the platform together. So the process automation capabilities, which are available as a part of the Oracle Integration Cloud, are the next step in this recipe. When the opportunity is created, it actually triggers off or kicks off a process automation flow in Oracle Integration Cloud to create a smart contract in blockchain. So as I can see, I already have my connections configured for the process cloud, for the integration cloud. It's a production partition. I can actually go and search for my process applications. It's doing a live query, and this is where we've actually added machine learning, AI to actually incorporate recommendations at each step. So what you see is really a curated set of process applications being delivered from the OIC, the Oracle Integration Cloud, where I can look at the process which is basically focused on smart contract validation via blockchain. I can pick that one up, and then I can filter out the operations. So the operation I'm interested in as a part of this use case is really to validate via blockchain for the smart contract. My recipe is all configured. I mean, I can add a few more parameters beyond this: account ID, channel order ID. This is all a part of the payload that I want to send. I can seamlessly map it, and on the right hand side with the payload fields which are available. But for all purposes, this recipe is done, and I can just say done, and I can configure it to start using it by switching it on. So in this use case, you really saw the power of the platform come together to solve a pretty complex use case for involving a CRM application and new technology and trends like blockchain in a very seamless way. What you saw was that the front-end user experience with SSI brought in the tie-in for the trigger with Sales Cloud, then core capabilities of the integration cloud, which really deliver process automation, integration with back-end applications, and also bringing new innovations like blockchain and AI became a part of the action. So these are all a part of the Oracle portfolio of platform as a service, giving you a very unique opportunity to not only solve the sundry tasks, but also take them seamlessly to applications which are running in your back end or bring in new and innovative technologies in your ecosystem of solutions. So Duane has a very interesting story. He obviously had a great story to talk about what he does at Sinclair. But Duane, if you don't mind, I might just share this personal story of his with the audience. Is that okay to do?
Sure.
So Duane, when he's not at Sinclair, he's actually coaching elementary kids football. Mm-hmm. That's where they start, right? And then you go all the way.
That's correct.
So I'll give it to you. Why don't you talk to us about what are you doing and how does it make special? Yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't think what I do is that special. I start off with my sons, helping them in a game that they love, participating to teach them and coaching them. And pretty proud to say that they continued with that game all the way through high school. And we have around 7 kids that were able to earn scholarships to college in football. So I'd like to think that I played a small part in that, in getting them there. But like I said, they're just a great group of kids.
Duane, that is indeed very special. And what an accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So now surprise us.
Well, like I said, being a football coach and working with the kids, that's the fun part. But the one thing that a lot of the parents are struggling with is staying on top of all the schedules and the changes. So we could use something like self-service integration to be able to build connections between those apps we use every day and to be able to track those events to make them simpler to stay on top of.
So that's your personal use case.
This is actually what we do every day. We'll use TeamSnap to manage these activities. And now we can actually bridge those together using something like self-service integration.
Cool. I'm excited. I'm beyond excited to see it.
So let's walk through that persona. Let's imagine that I need to create an event, and I want to be able to make sure I track that in our apps. So we're going to go through our public recipe, and I'm going to choose a recipe for TeamSnap. Here it is. Let's add that to my recipes. So let's connect that recipe with my team. It's going to make a connection to our connection with TeamSnap. And let's create the event with Google Calendar. And we're going to choose that specific calendar that we want to go to. And let's make a small edit on the fly on that event. And let's activate. So as a coach, I'm going to go in and create an event. And Trophy Day is usually a great day for the kids, so let's plan that.
So do you do pizzas or ice creams after that? Kids normally love a lot of ice creams, right?
Pizza, chicken strips, whatever they like, whatever will make them happy. So Trophy Day, we're going to choose the 17th. And let's make it at 6:30. In one of our favorite locations. And hit save. Now the event is there. Now, normally this integration's running in the background. It's going to pick up those events. Mm-hmm. Let's kick it off so we don't have to wait. Let's run now. Then I'll open up my calendar, hit refresh, and you automatically see that event there.
That's really cool.
So simple persona is able to handle powerful integration with simple tools.
Duane, that was really cool. It's so nice to see a personal use case being implemented for a tool which we've been really focusing on business applications, which kind of amplifies the simplicity of the product. I mean, I think this is a good time for me to summarize the benefits to the audience of SSI. So self-service integration, is a part of our platform of integration capabilities. It's a very modern tool built on microservices. What it really does is you can onboard it with literally zero training required, search for recipes, and activate them and get your productivity tasks done. For IT, there's a huge benefit because it offloads the workload for basic integration from IT to the line of business user, who's pretty happy doing his task himself. So it kind of addresses the workload so IT can focus more on innovation and, more importantly, reduce the backlog, which has been, I think, number one LOB complaint for a long time in terms of IT responsiveness. So really cool product, looks great, works great, based on microservices. That's SSI for you. But I do want to emphasize that SSI is a part of our bigger platform of integration capabilities. The Oracle platform for cloud integration is focused on solving business-critical integration requirements which span the personas, not just of the self-service for line of business, which you saw today, but also for applications IT and for the integration specialists. As a part of the tool set, any of these personas can seamlessly integrate applications, deliver end-to-end real-time integrations or batch integrations using the portfolio, and then expand that to solve the tasks which are related to process automation. So you connect systems together using application integration capabilities, then start applying process logic, including simple human workflow capabilities, exception management, or you can bring in applications which really don't have APIs today to eliminate human tasks or manual tasks. And this is what we call as robotic process automation. So the platform is rich enough to do application integration, span to case management, dynamic, adaptive case management as we call it, robotic process automation, and human workflow using processes. And to wrap all of this up together, we've actually invested a lot in a white space which we call as integration analytics, where you can not only see the actual analytics running through the integration platform with insight, but also see streams of information coming through and showing you actionable analytics. So what you saw today was really one part of the portfolio targeted to the line of business user. We are covering pretty much the API first design, API creation, as well as the integration for applications as a part of this portfolio. The Oracle Cloud Platform for Integration really brings out a persona-based user experience. What you saw today was targeted to the line of business, but we have really tremendously differentiated ourselves with the persona experience for the line of business, apps IT, as well as the advanced integration users. We are a leader in the integration and process automation space. You can look at the various analyst reports. And as a part of the investment in the platform, we're really investing in bringing in productivity through machine learning and AI. So a lot of guidance which is coming through the platform, and you saw some of that today in the demonstration. While Oracle continues to focus on differentiating on the platform and the set of capabilities that we bring out with our platform as a service capabilities, Oracle is also offering a unique consumption model with a universal pricing across all of PaaS and IaaS. This makes it very easy for you as consumers to be able to consume the product and use our services on the cloud. So with that said, I think we are pretty close to the conclusion of the session, but I do want to emphasize before I leave you on the fact that the platform itself is very comprehensive in a set of capabilities focused both on application and data integration. Today we focused on application integration predominantly, but the same platform offers very rich data governance, data quality, data replication, ETL-like capabilities as a part of the platform. And it's also built to offer API first, which is a core requirement for digital business. So one platform which is solving the comprehensive use cases for application and data integration. And before I thank Duane, I do want to emphasize that the pace of innovation never slows down. And Duane is an amazing example of that, a true partnership where we worked closely with Duane. Duane brought us immense amount of use cases that he was looking to solve. Duane, how did it go so far?
I think it's great, and I look forward to the new challenges we can accomplish in the future.
Thank you, Duane, for partnering with us, and thank you for joining us and telling your incredible story together. For you, as you deploy innovation in your companies, in your enterprises, in your organizations, Oracle is with you all the way. We would love to partner with you and make sure that you're successful in your journey of adopting the cloud. Thank you again for listening in today.